Om Shanti. So welcome all of you to the workshop, the Platinum Workshop on Harmony.
Can't hear you, Manoj bhai. Oh, okay. No, all is good. Thank you.
So as always, let's spend a few minutes in reflecting on this value of harmony, asking ourselves about the inner state of harmony. Is my inner harmony?
Actually, yes, we can't hear your voice clearly. Please, let's reduce the music. We want to hear you.
Just decrease the So let's. Yes, so I hope now it should be fine. I hope I'm not.
After music is stopped, yes. Oh, means almost less. Yeah, now we can hear you. So, brother, if you can start again.
Sure, thanks. So let's go back to this inner harmony of the self. Are my thoughts, words, and actions in congruence and in harmony? Let me ask myself. And before exploring my harmonious nature with others, today's workshop, let me just try to look at this inner harmony. Because harmony is present to work out on harmonizing externally with others. So with this, let's begin. So as always, it's been a journey. Platinum 75th workshop. Here we are. We don't know. It's like so many workshops and series episodes we have done so far. All thanks to the Supreme Being, and a big thanks to all the participants who join us regularly. We get a lot of feedback and comments from your side. A big thanks to all the facilitators who are there, and also a big tireless team of interpreters and the recorders who are working in the background. They are never seen, they are never heard, but they're all the time there. So it's a big harmony which we are working through. So let's go, and again, welcome to Sister Anu and Sister Shruti, the facilitators for today, and also welcome to all the interpreters. So it's a beautiful journey, silver episode, the golden episode, and then finally the platinum today. I forgot to write the word platinum, soon it will be there. So we are slightly late today with some technical glitches, so we'll be a little bit overboard on the first exercise, so apologies for that. So let us just see the icebreaker video and quick chat box sharings. You can start writing as you see as well. So here we go. Okay, wonderful. So let's begin. I'm sure you a lot of messages from the video. We have actually exceeded our time, but we'll give you a few minutes to write down in the chat box insights gained from the video. Are you all there? Equality. Thank you, Jujar bhai. Finally, someone has started writing. Okay, equality. Yes. Kids can really teach us a lot. Okay. Absolute silence is harmonious silence, right? Okay. Fine. So I think the message was quite clear. So I think we can move on to the next exercise. Senem is saying connecting all, right? Thank you. Oh yeah, now you all are fast. Being in the same understanding, right, Sister Guldane. Hmm. Togetherness, Harpreet sister, right. Sister Balwinder, we all live in our own world until we get awakened to the reason why we need to cooperate to live together. Hmm. Interesting. Kavita Bhain, unity. Okay, well, thank you all of you for your feedback. We'll move on. And last sharing from Sister Sarabjit, if we are all together, we can do better. That's good. Today's poem is all about togetherness. Just be ready for that. Sister Guldain to complain, whatever, so to comply with each other, maybe. Okay. Right. So let's move on. Over to you, Sister Anu. Thank you all for your sharings.
Thank you, Manoj brother. That was really beautiful video. We all loved, right? How with so much diversity we come together, and how we love same thing, or when we create something together. That tells that how much we have that inner want to be coming together with, despite of all the diversity. So yeah, that was a nice external harmony. So now let's look at our first exercise. That would be inner harmony. Actually, that would be the whole exploration today. But as we understand, when the harmony is within, when we feel completely comfortable with being who we are, which brings a lot of emotions together, feeling good, confident in myself, feeling that love and compassion, care for others. So when we are in that state, everything in our life, our relationships, and everything that we do in life comes to harmony. So for that, actually, let's explore on that inner harmony when you have felt totally yourself and good. We'll be exploring that, however, inner harmony. I hope this question we all can reflect on is that reflect on an instance in your life where you have acted through inner harmony. That is congruence of thoughts, words, and actions. So, whatever you're thinking, feeling, you're speaking, and doing action, you're feeling completely comfortable being you, I would say. But it would be churning for everyone. So reflect on that instance and let's collect few points that you feel are the advantages of being harmonious inside. We'll take a minute. Thank you, everyone. I'm sure you got some answers, got some insight. Would you like to unmute and share? What are the advantages of being harmonious? Hope you could see when you were in that inner harmony. Yeah. Yes, Vinay. Go ahead.
There was a heated argument among family members. I was a part of it, but before I could speak, I remember Dadi Janki's words. She used to say, "Har mani." So then I thought, let me be quiet and just observe rather than getting into the same heated atmosphere. And it was wonderful. After 10-15 minutes, everything was fine. There was no solution though, but everybody was quiet. And the advantage was like I was very calm. I didn't have to, there was no no turbulence, no extra thoughts. So I was calm, free from waste, and ultimately everything was peaceful. So we can stay observant, we can detach from the situation.
That's beautiful. So we feel the ability to be detached, to be quiet and feel calm and let the situation unfold, but not escalate the heated situation. Thank you so much, Vidhi. That was. Anyone else would like to share? Unmute and share. Sanem says creative thoughts, solutions serve all involved in any situation. Karan Nivaran means being solution focused, not question focused. Why? Not why, but what is the solution? That was beautiful, Sanem. Thank you.
Shanti.
Yes, Om Shanti. What
I
is your name?
think harmony is more or less the result of other virtues, especially like unconditional love, power of cooperation. I don't see it standing by itself. It's supported by other virtues. That's just my take. Oh, Shanti.
Right. So harmony is not just one virtue, but it is when few virtues come together. You said unconditional love, power. Yeah. Thank you so much. You can name your name, sister. I just wanted to ask, if possible. I'll read some.
Sister Vijay.
Sorry, what? I didn't get that anyway.
Me
I
too.
will change it. It's Sister Vijay.
Okay, Vijay. Thank you so much. So I'll read a few from the chart. Pavan says inner peace, self-satisfaction, feel good for everyone, with everyone. Anil says achieve more. Everyone is on the same page and happy when there is inner harmony. Sangeeta says it first required step towards solution is harmony. Sarjit says my daughter has autism. When doctor diagnosed her, I completely accepted the decision and I worked with harmony. She is much better than now. If our thoughts are in harmony, then we successfully in our target. Acceptance is one of that's what the harmony, as Vidhi was sharing, that accept your defeat or take defeat in the situation so that the argument doesn't escalate. So like that situations, if we accept, we can experience that inner harmony. Golden says there must be a balance between thoughts, words, and action. Right, congruence, they come together. Maria says with harmony, all is very easy, total freedom, easiness and freedom. And Vijay brother says harmony is acceptance of all beings with love. We are diamonds, so see all being diamonds and enjoy diamond virtues of love, happiness, acceptance, instead best wishes to make the environment of harmony. Beautiful thoughts, beautiful values that are coming up for harmony. Anybody who would like to speak and share? What were the advantages of harmony you felt? Again, when we share more than the silence or in the chat. Sometimes listening to you helps. It stays with us longer in our journey. So what was advantages of harmony you figured out for yourself? Yujar Singh says it brought back a better future, or inner harmony in everyone can bring back a better future for individual as well as collective world.
So maybe we can ask, we have many regular participants, Dr. Gaurav Agarwal, Sister Harpreet. If you all want to unmute and speak, will be good. Good to hear you all as well.
Yes, Om Shanti, brother. I can share a recent incident with my mother passing away in India while we were traveling. How much harmony we needed to make the decisions when I was at harmony with everybody else was making the decisions, because the protocols were different, what we do here and what were there. But just staying that stable, calm and peaceful, and bringing all those values in, being an embodiment of that, listening what need to get it done, everything went very beautifully. That was a harmonious experience. That's what I like to share. Om Shanti.
Thank you so much. That was such a practical, real life situation, and how that inner harmony helped you through staying calm and flowing through the needful. Thank you so much, Sister Harpreet. Sanem, you want to share, please?
Yes, I would love to. It's quite simple. What everybody wants is peace and happiness, and these are the advantages, I think. Thank you.
Yeah, peace and happiness. That's beautiful and simple.
And may I say?
Yes, Golden, go ahead.
There must be harmony between the couple and also siblings, also the neighbors. If there aren't any harmony between them, there will be conflicts, so that we get sorrow, we get pain from this togetherness. Okay, thank you.
Yeah, can bring togetherness. Brings
Shanti,
togetherness.
can
Yes.
I share?
We'll take this last sharing. Yes, Sangeeta, go ahead. Thank you.
What I have experienced, that it's not easy to practice harmony or maintain the harmony in the situation of turmoil or heated argument. So when we are able to maintain it, after that we feel encouraged and powerful.
Mm-hmm. Encouragement and power.
And powerful. I mean, we feel that we have this power of maintaining the harmony, which has been lost these days generally.
So that's a good that we maintain it.
Yes, that gives a boost.
Right. Thank you so much, Sangeeta. I don't think we can take any more sharing at the moment. Time is moving. Maybe in the next exercise, I'll just read a few essential messages in the chat. Valvinder says that she accepted others' recording. By chance, she had to miss the session, and that is how she brought her harmony back. Sangeeta says it keeps your vitals within normal range. You feel completely comfortable in the body as well. Dr. Gaurav says, I can be in harmony only when I'm in soul consciousness. Means more than just the body and role. Who am I? Who is bringing that energy and power to actions? And Vikas says, when there is harmony inside our mind, we feel unshakable in adverse situation, peaceful and concentrated. Right. So thank you, everyone. Maybe we have your sharings written by Brother Deepak. We can see it quickly. You will be receiving it in the email, so you will have it. With so many advantages, that peaceful and then happy, solution-oriented love, peace, unconditional love and peace, better future we can create, acceptance, and then the balance between thoughts, words, actions, we feel total freedom, we feel very easy. Yeah, so love, happiness we can share with others, all vitals come in together, feels good, unshakable. We feel unshakable in adverse situations, peaceful and contented. Encouragement and power we feel as well. So yeah, that were great sharings, great values that have come out. Let's continue our journey to experience inner harmony. So I'll hand it over to Brother Manoj.
Okay, so thank you so much. Let's move on to the meditation. And right, so sit back, relax your body.
I think music is interfering, brother. You can stop. We can enjoy better.
So let's look at the screen. You get this 3D effect. And let's try to look at the 3D which we have inside, the 3 dimensions of the thought, word, and action. And before we begin, let's touch this inner silent core that all of us originally are.
Sharing screen has changed. Sorry.
Oops, I don't know how it has changed. Well, anyway.
Yeah, it's good now.
Okay. So looking at these 3 faculties which I have inside, my mind, which creates the thoughts, which in turn generates a feeling. The second is my words. The words I speak determines my actions, which is the third faculty, my behaviors with people around. And in this silent, peaceful state of mind, let me ask myself, in the entire day, are my behaviors and actions in congruence with what I think and speak? Beginning this spiritual journey and strengthening my connection with the Supreme Being, I develop this inner power to be my own self. And I don't have to hide anything now from anyone. And since I'm in this pure state of consciousness of the mind, my thoughts have also become so pure and elevated. And therefore, I don't have to think what I need to speak and do. Because my thoughts have transformed. And this is the inner harmony which all of us are experiencing. And once I feel this harmony inside me, harmonizing my nature with others just becomes my natural nature. Because my natural nature is of peace and bliss. So with this, let's prepare ourselves to go into the action planning mode, into the next exercise where we'll explore about external aspects of harmony. So with this, I'll just stop sharing the screen. And over to Sister Shruti. Thanks.
Thank you, Manoj Bhai. Muriel has raised hand. Is there something that she needs attention for?
Yeah, it's
She's
fine.
on a different. Okay. All
Thank you.
right.
Thank you.
Okay. So with that lovely sharings, visualizations, let's move into the next portion of the workshop and try to start to think about how do we really take that sense of inner harmony, that inner peace. The word congruence has been used many times. How do we take that into our home and workplace? So what we will do in this portion of the workshop is reflect a little on how can I translate that inner harmony into my action and interactions with others. So only if I'm feeling harmonious with what I'm thinking, feeling, doing, can I translate it. But how do I do that? And are there ways through which I can demonstrate ways to also create and demonstrate that at the home and workplace? So how do I translate this inner harmony into my action and interactions with others? And also, is there an opportunity for me to do things in the broader environment at home and work and at my workplace? So we'll take a couple of minutes just to reflect, and then we'll come back to share. I think if we are ready, we can start sharing. So again, how do you translate that inner harmony in your interactions with others, as well as what can you do about your actual environment, the physical environment at home, at work? Seeing a
Can I
few
share?
chat messages, but just want to give an opportunity for everybody to unmute and speak.
Yes, I would like to share. Hello.
Sangeeta, I see you've unmuted.
Yes,
Would
I
you
want
like
to
to go
share.
ahead? Or if you're talking, we can't hear you.
No, Shruti Ben, check your system. Maybe we can hear her. Go ahead, Sangeeta.
Yeah, what I think is that we create it when we realize what it is. A first step, in my opinion, first step is the realization what harmony is, and we need it. It's very important. Then only we are able to create it. When we decide to create it.
Very nice. So the realization and then the decision to actually create it. That's beautiful. Would anybody else like to speak?
Om Shanti,
Om Shanti Vijayabhai, please go ahead.
my dear brothers and sisters. Please accept my greetings of love, peace, happiness, and harmony. We can only have harmony in workplace or in home if we are having our thoughts very pure. That thoughts purity can only be maintained if we have a knowledge and make our day with a foundation of good input into our intellect and mind. If we do in the morning time when we get up, naturally these good thoughts will help you to make harmony wherever you go. And we have to keep every hour a relationship of our intellect, divine intellect, with the God, with the Supreme, so that he continues to give us a power to maintain those harmonious relationship in our thoughts, in our speech, in our work action. And in the night, very important, to clean your intellect of throughout the day, whatever you have done, to clean, because if the pot is not clean, even in the morning, new thoughts will be dirty. Om Shanti.
Thank you, Vijayabhai. Again, very powerful suggestions. Pure thoughts, staying connected, and then continuously cleaning the mind. That's beautiful. I'll read a couple of chat messages while others get ready to share. We have Sanam saying constant training of the soul consciousness, starting with a positive thought in the early morning and before sleep, when the happiness neurons in the brain are most active. So similar to what Vijayabhai was also saying, sending good vibrations to those in conflict. Dr. Mehta says, accept everyone as they are, equanimity, positive approach when facing challenges. This too will pass. Sarabjit says, if we are in harmony at work and home, we will work better by our actions. If our actions is comparative, we work with peace, patience at both places. Okay. Anu says, constant respect and gentle kindness to every person will be my demonstration. Effort to stay with total acceptance of myself as I am and accept everyone as they are. And Vidhi says, not judging others, seeing goodness, not weakness. So again, related to acceptance. Very good. Would anybody else like to unmute and speak? Yes, please go ahead, Prajpal Bhai.
In harmony, both are winners. And if you see in harmony, most of the problems are resolved. So we should understand, we should listen the other person, we should have a patience, and we should understand him and then accept. Acceptance is the key. As Guru Nanak Dev says, एक ने कहा दूसरे ने मानी, नानक कहे दोनों ज्ञानी. And if you apply this at home or at workplace, you will see the most of the problems are resolved. So you have to first remove your ego. Ego is the main thing which comes in the way, and you be flexible. Om Shanti.
Thank you, Bridbalbai. Again, many thoughts over there. Listening, less ego, being flexible. So many powerful points there. Very nice. Dr. Geeta, would you like to speak? I see you unmuted.
I'm not able to unmute myself.
Oh, we could hear you. I think you're mute. You're on mute now. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah. See, harmony is something when our thoughts, our actions, and our words are in alignment. Whatever we are feeling inside us, we are able to, first, we are able to comprehend that. Secondly, we can make the other person aware of that. And thirdly, it manifests in our actions. If one of the whole chain is disturbed, then disharmony, chaos results. So this is what we have to focus throughout the day. Remaining every hour, we have to do traffic control. So only the pure thoughts should be there. That is the crux of harmony.
Very nice. So the practical application, and that's what we wanted to kind of focus on. So it's the traffic control. It's the reminder of having those pure thoughts. Very nice. Thank you. Anybody else? Picking up a few more things from the chat message. Balwinder says self-introspection, self-healing, complete acceptance, and continue to sharpen our intellect and expand soul consciousness and awareness. Anil says talking to everyone and discussing everyone's issues. So talking, so not just listening, but also talking about it and creating a common unity. Kirti says being harmonious at work means I can respond quickly to changing ideas and fulfill others' expectations. And Lara says, I experience inner harmony on a daily basis when I'm aware that I'm a soul and my role is ending. This way I remain naturally peaceful and assertive with everything and everyone. Very nice. Thank you, Manuel. Anybody else? So I think at this point we can summarize our sharings. Deepak Bhai, if you want to bring up the screen. So again, some lovely ideas on how we can demonstrate harmony at work and at home and workplace. So constant training, start with a positive thought at the early morning and before you sleep. Recognize that that's the time when the happiness neurons are most active. Send good vibrations to those who are in conflict. Recognizing or realization of harmony, and then is when you create it. Accept everyone as they are, equanimity, positive approach when facing challenges. This too shall pass. Work with peace, patience, both at home and workplace. Every hour, a few minutes of silence or traffic control keeps and helps the action stay in harmony. Constant respect to others and staying gentle, kindness to everyone, and total acceptance of myself. Not judging others, respecting others' opinions, and recognizing that only when there's harmony, both parties are winners. That involves patience and listening to others' view and being flexible and losing the ego. So again, a few more here. Talking to everyone, creating common unity, self-introspection, positivity to everyone, respecting others' opinions, thoughts, words, and action in alignment, and inner harmony on a daily basis by recognizing that I'm a soul and my role is ending. So remaining naturally peaceful and staying in harmony allows us to respond quickly to changing ideas. And we all know change is constant. So with that, I'll hand it back to Manoj Pai for the next portion of the workshop. Thank you, everyone.
Okay, wonderful. Thank you, all of y'all. And as we speak, in the background, we were doing some job because we have our guest speakers who have come. It's an angel from Harmony House and also from Argentina. So I would not be giving them the podium now. So 15 minutes they have to wait because we'll be doing the sharing of what we have done last week. And in the meantime, before I forget, if there are some participants who have joined new and want to share your email addresses and your WhatsApp contact numbers so that we can send you all this material which we are discussing. It is prepared in the form of a PDF file. It will come to you in your email. So please share your emails and WhatsApp numbers. And let's move on to what both these senior Rajyogi brothers had to say about harmony, Brother Eric and Brother Ken last week, Saturday. They said, what is harmony? It was Brother Ken was doing most of the job because Brother Eric was actually asking him a lot of questions about things. So Brother Ken said, when there are no conflicts, that's what is harmony. And it reminds me, as one of the participants also shared with his sister, in Hindi we say harmani, which means har is, it's about if all of you can please mute yourself, Dr. Geeta and quite of the others. Thank you. It's disturbing. Right. So accepting defeat, and that was the slogan of Dadi Prakashmani, which Brother Ken covered it while we were discussing about the question answers with them. Then he brought a point, Brother Ken, about the canvas, the colors that harmonize with each other. So any art form, as you can see on the right-hand side of the screen as well, it's beautiful colors, beautiful scenery in the background. So any art also is harmony. Same thing is, he's also a singer. Brother Eric said that about Brother Ken. So when we sing, and the octave of all those, what we call in Hindi, sur and tal, so all those 8 sare gama pada nisa, or even the octave which we have in the English language, which we say. So any instrument which you're playing or you're dancing, any art form needs a lot of harmony. And then Brother Ken went on to say it has to be very natural. There should not be any effort, and whereby the differences between each other melt away. And he took us into, because he now lives in Brazil since almost 35, 40 years. So he told us about the Amazon forest, which is there. And there are 2 rivers. The one is the Solimos River and the other is the Negro River, the black and the white river. They run side by side for 6 kilometers. And then when they mix, it's later. So when they blend with each other, I mean, it's beautiful to see the scenery of that 2 rivers mixing. So that's what he mentioned. Coming to how to harmonize with others, we have discussed a lot actually, and all of you have come down with beautiful sharings in the action planning. But to start with, we know all of us are different personalities. Like Brother Ken said, different elements in the nature which we see. And pay attention to what people are trying to say. So I think we covered this quite a bit about listening. We are actually short of listening in today's fast age. So once we start listening to people, I think that itself in our workshops, we say is a very important healing tool. And it forms a good base of your communication skills if you can listen to people. And he said, don't carry anything for any person from the past. If there's something happened with your relatives, let it be there in the past. So because relationships change over a period of time, and having a good communication, because sometimes we stop speaking to each other. So let's not do that. And having a good communication is the key to maintain harmony. That's what he said. Appreciating people's presence also is a good way to develop harmony. We all know this saying, unity in diversity is equal to harmony. And all of us have churned that what is the foundation of harmony? I mean, is it soul conscious state? Yes, we have done that. Dr. Gaurav Agarwal mentioned that we practice that. And right at the base of this soul conscious state, when we move into that realm of being connected with the divine, we get that pure love. So love in some way is the foundation of harmony. And Brother McKen also mentioned about contentment. So again, he went on to mention this point, which is written in red, which Brother Eric liked a lot, that selfishness is a fake attempt of being happy with yourself. I mean, it's really an eye-opener for all of us that when we are in relations with people, we really have a lot of selfish motives inside. And we feel, oh, if I do this for myself, I'll feel happy. But Brother Ken said it's a fake attempt of being happy with oneself. And finally, as also we have been discussing in the workshop, someone said that it's a conglomeration of all the values. I think it was Sister Gulden. So once we return to the source, who is the divine supreme being, who is the source of all virtues and powers, I think we sort of bypass all these differences which we have with each other, and then automatically our inner harmony sort of blows up, and then we also come into external harmony very easily. And this is the saying, harmony is not something that you create. It exists within, waiting to be discovered. I think it was one of the sayings which I had taken from the internet, but also it's basically something we don't have to really strive for. It is something which is there inside. The soul conscious energy which we are itself is a harmonious state, that the natural nature of the soul. As we move on, we had quite a few questions. We have covered that in the first activity today, that what are your thoughts about this aspect of harmony? We asked Brother Ken about thoughts, words, and action being in congruence. So again, he went on to say that the foundation is changing your consciousness. And if I have this body consciousness all the time, I look at matter around me. And we all know mind over matter. So if I'm just in the external things, I will get fluctuations. I will be disturbed by looking at things outside, and my inner harmony may go off. But if I'm in this practice of soul consciousness on and on, as much time as I get, things start changing, and then congruence develops naturally. A next question, very practical one. How does one create harmony with someone who is arrogant to the point of abuse? Oh, the answer is have good wishes for them. Easier said than done. But I think here the point which Brother Ken made is have mercy. Because if someone is arrogant, he or she is disturbed. And if I also get disturbed, there's no point. Harmony is miles away when I'm disturbed. So let me, if I feel that I should not have mercy for the other person, why to have? Forget about him or her. Come back to yourself. Why should I disturb myself? So have mercy on the self. Automatically good wishes will start flowing. And I think very practical, don't take anything so personally. Everything is so temporary. So let me not go into that saying, but let's be very light. Let's not indulge in taking everything, every comment, every abuse which comes so personally. It reminds me here of our first administrative head. We lovingly call her Mama, Jagdamba Saraswati. She used to say this very categorically, that some sisters used to come and ask her, oh, this person is arrogant and rude with me. She said this. So Mama, whom we lovingly call Mama, so she said, why do you take it? She said, I didn't understand. Take means she's told me. So she said, yeah, that soul has told you. Why do you take it, what she's told you? Don't take it, and it will remain there only. So let's not take things so personally. I think Gautam Buddha also, in one of his sayings, has said that. Next is, how can we rebuild our inner harmony with the world outside? That's what we have been discussing today. So he said, Brother Ken said, check for yourself that how can you treat nature more responsibly? I think this question was more related to the global warming and the climate change outside. So let's treat nature more responsibility. Let's stop exploiting. Nature is generous with us, so let's also be generous in turn with others. And he said there is a connection between cleanliness inside and outside. What can I do to balance or harmonize personal and professional life? A very common questions which is asked. So again, it was covered here. A few sentences were about that mentioned. Brother Ken said your consciousness at work should be the same as in your personal life. Yeah, I think Vijay Pal Bhai covered this. So as I do God's service in personal life, same thing, I think of my professional life also as service. And Brother Ken mentioned quite a few things about, I think his post somewhere about as in a chemical engineering factory. I'm not sure what it was exactly, but about his job where people used to really like him because he was in and out the same. Then a very challenging question, maybe our speakers today also can answer that. At the BKs, it is believed that the golden age is coming. Is this really possible? Looking at the world outside, so much of chaos. So they mentioned, both of them, that everything is cyclic. Day follows night, which follows the day. And there is nothing about imagination. As we see in this iron age, there is so much of worry, illness, lies, deceit, conflict. So if you apply no to all these, that's the world which is coming soon. So let's not try to be in the jargon of whether it's there or not. Let's work on ourselves, and by work, each one of us working on ourselves at Brahma Kumaris, we say that self-transformation leads to world transformation. So that age was automatically going to come with our inner transformation. Next is, if I do not accept people as they are, will I never be able to develop harmony with them? So again, it all boils down to self-transformation. So accepting the self first is very important. As we said, having inner harmony today, we have covered that in detail, that will help me to accept others as they are. Right, so before we go into announcements, I'm quite surprised I finished before time. So we have our speakers with us. So let's move to them, and if their videos can be on and you can highlight them. Yes. Yes, thank you so much, both of you, for joining. First, we have an angel coming from Harmony House itself. That's Sister Anjani. So I think the value is harmony, and she's joining us from Harmony House. Welcome, Sister Anjani. And also Sister Moira, who's joining us, another angel coming from Argentina. And welcome, both of you. And before I pass it on to you, I have to introduce you all a bit. Sister Anjani is so much in harmony, she's hardly sent me anything. Just 2 lines. I'll say those. And let me just start first with Sister Moira. And she's been with us many times, and all of us know she was a surgical nurse by profession, and she was looking out a lot. She had a lot of her tour in India before she entered the Brahma Kumaris. She was actually searching for the true meaning of love and the higher purpose in life. And that led her to meet the BKs in 1986, almost 40 years now soon. She is currently the director of the Brahma Kumaris centers in Argentina. And as you can see, she's very cheerful by her nature and very light. You can see that, you can experience that when we listen to her. And coming to Sister Anjani, so as much as I know about her, I hope I'm not doing any mistakes, but she's practicing Raja Yoga meditation for over 40 years now. And I mean, the Lokik way, she belongs to the Caribbean, right? So she's come into knowledge. I don't know where exactly, but she'll tell us. But a practicing Rajogi, a senior Rajogi for so many years. And as I said, that she is stationed, her service center, this place is the Global Harmony House, which is there in Great Neck at New York. And she coordinates the Brahma Kumari Center there. And the name is Global Harmony House, a very busy place, happening place in New York. And a lot of harmony there, and very harmoniously she coordinates all the activities. So both of you welcome. And the last thing, the poem, before I give it to you all. So both sisters embody and epitomize harmony and togetherness, that's because they have developed within them the spiritual fineness. Today, they shall inspire us about the spiritual power, how to harness, so that we can live in unity and enjoy the diversity, the oneness. You can today feel for yourself in their behaviors the sweetness. That's because they practice Raj Yoga meditation, which brings this lightness, so that every task which we perform gets filled with the refinedness and working in harmony, getting rid of the I, me, and the mindness. Finally, let's all try to have for the Supreme this much awaited eagerness, so that we can then become royal embodiments of highness and holiness. Thank you so much, all of you, and welcome. The stage is all yours.
Thank you, Manoj, for that lovely welcome, and lovely to see you. Anjani, it's lovely to be back in this space of this family of values for life that you have kept for so long. It's just amazing how it continues on and on and on. It seems like an ocean, unending. Eh? So welcome, Anjani.
Hello, I'm Shanti from New York. It's raining here, and so we are in harmony with nature here, enjoying the flowing water. And so it's lovely to be here with the family, the values family. Manoj Bhai, thank you very much for having us and the team. Hello, everyone. I know some of my team member sisters here well. So it's wonderful to be with all of you. And today it seems as though this discussion on harmony has been going on. And so what more is there to share but us being together? But I was thinking about, generally speaking, on this aspect of harmony, that how harmonious am I with myself? And that's what Sister Moira and I will explore today. A couple of different aspects. One is ourselves. One is those whom we're living with. Then the world, you know, it's extended, and then Mother Nature. And the world could mean many things. Workplace could be the people you come in contact with day-to-day life, and the different aspects that could become a challenge for us. And so how do I step back to that place within myself? And I would start with myself, and then Sister Moira would pick up on that and share. But when I was thinking of harmony with myself, I went back to my childhood days, and I saw what a beautiful life it was. You know, we were a very big family. We were almost like 40 of us living in 2 houses, which was just close to each other. And can you imagine the adults and the children? We played, we get into some disagreements, we go to school together, we did everything together. But we never saw that we had conflict. We never saw that we were not in harmony. We didn't see anything which was negative, because this moment you will have a disagreement, and the next moment no one can come between me and my cousin. We are just like as though we're 2 in 1. Not even the parents could come and say anything to you know, any one of us. So we remained very close. We remained with a lot of love. And what I've seen that up till today, the family is so huge. We must be about 50, 60 of us, cousins, and we spread across different countries. But still, that love, that caring, that relationship that we shared when we were children, still sustains us, because our family sustained us in a very beautiful way. So we were brought up with that love and respect. We might not have 100% say that we didn't had a little bit of an argument with one another. It was all there, but as I said, there was so much love that held us together. And the image that has come to my mind is of the flowers. You know, the flowers, if you look at a rose, it's all petals. But there is that receptacle, there is that which holds all the petals together. And to create the beauty of the flower, there might be windstorm, there might be snow, there might be anything, you know, because sometimes we might get the snow coming in November, but the rose still holds together. The petals still stay together. And so this is what I see, my journey of life with this quality of harmony is very deep core in the soul, that belonging to Baba, that strength still remains. I am here in Great Neck, and everyone knows that this is the center where Sister Mohini also stays. And so living with the senior, living with many others, one will say, do you live always in harmony? And that's when we will come to living with others. But coming back to my own personal experience of what self-harmony or harmony with myself look like and feel like, I would see that when my mind, my thoughts, I would see when my intellect and when my pure nature, they are in alignment, I really feel deeply a sense of stability, because harmony gives that experience of stability. Harmony gives that experience of strength, that you can hold something together. And so that's how I feel within myself. And if I step out in any one of those where my mind picks up on something and play with it, which is not going to bring me happiness, the other two, my intellect and my sanskars, will also follow. And then what creates now what happens within myself would become or would move to a place of unrest. I will not call it restful place, but I will call it where extra thoughts flow. So I position myself in that way, that I look at these three pretty often to see how well they behave. And when they are not in alignment, I take the step where if I need to go to God, I go to God to take that strength to create that inner stability once again. The other thing I was looking at as an image of harmony is my 5 fingers. How well do these 5 fingers come together to hold something? You know, I can't pick up even the pencil if my thumb is missing. And so I need these. And I was looking at the supporting qualities for myself in this quality of harmony, of using these 5 fingers, bringing them together. It's just like the flowers. They have to come together to create the beauty. And so when I think of them, for me, I think of acceptance. I think of love. I think of humility, self-respect. But I wouldn't forget remembrance of God in this. Because the strength, the source, the one who has to give me the power to use all these qualities is the one. And that one plays a very important part in my life. And so, Sister Moira, you tell us now, and how do you use this quality more within yourself?
Well, as I was hearing from your childhood, it just reminded, you know, my own background. I come from a family, well, Western families are different. You are expanded families. You say you're 40, but we have 5 siblings. We were brought up on a farm. My parents were so dedicated. It was such a fun place to live in. But at the age of 6, we all went to a boarding school. So we only came back home every 2 months for a week throughout the year. And then we came back for summer holidays. And somehow I was brought up to live in diversity because, you know, my roommates at school, we were all 6, we were little girls. And so we were, you know, from different parts of Latin America, even from Canada, from the Falkland Islands. Many of the people coming from the UK who were living in the Falkland Islands used to come to our schools. And so for me, living in diversity was very much the only way of living. So I just thought it was such fun, you know, and we had so much in common. And this is what made us so strong, like to, you know, we were very much oriented to do sports, but there was something about us. We were all without our parents. So that brought us together in a very unique way because we became for each other something very precious. And we had our headmistress who was such an amazing woman, such an amazing woman. She really made the school like a family of people from different backgrounds, social backgrounds. Everything was diverse, but somehow there was this binding thing. There was so much love. We made up for each other in such a way, and I see that was very much reflected, not only, you know, at schools and things, but we were very much oriented into, you know, a life of sports. So we used to do athletics, and this is where teamwork, you know, comes about in such a grand way. We had to do together. It was nothing so much like individualism. So this doing together meant everything to us, everything. So I think that the foundation for me was of being in diversity, but also being myself. Like I don't remember comparing at that age. Maybe that came a little bit later. So I realized that, you know, each one had their own value. And our teacher, who was like a mother to all of us, there I was until I was the age of 15 that I went back home. And it was like, she never compared us. She had this acceptance of who we are for what we are. And this was something that I learned from her so naturally. You know, everything is possible when we are together. Everything is valuable when we are together. So for me, that was very much an upbringing. Then when I you know, I went to live in a big city, I was a little bit in disharmony there because I was a country person and I had been brought up in an amazing setting. And then I go into a city where everything was so individualistic. I felt completely in disharmony with that. But again, I realized that we, you know, our own resilience, my own love for unity and togetherness allowed me to bridge that gap again. And I adapted to a very, very busy, hectic city like Buenos Aires, like all the cities in India. Here even more, I think. And that's where I realized that it was not only about the people whom I live, but everybody around me. And I love people. I like to be with people. It doesn't matter who they are, what they are. I really enjoy. So by the time I reached the BKs, this was 38 years ago, I feel that I was ready for this life of a global family where we're incredibly diverse, but we have so much in common. We have this lifestyle that has made our ideals a reality, living in a community. And of course, it has its huge challenge. And maybe that's what we will go into now about harmony in relationships with others. But I feel that unity for me, spiritually speaking, then meant my own self-transformation, because I realized that living with BKs and service companions and even working, I started to see in the mirror of my own character the things that were in disharmony, that were creating conflicts. And I realized how important it is to be with others and not move away, to understand, to learn, to feel, and to embrace my self-change. And it's such a beautiful journey when we are able to focus on what needs to be healed. And I also learned that much of the disharmony or whatever conflicts we create with others have to do with trauma and things that have happened in our childhood that haven't been dealt with or we haven't healed from. And so they come up, they pop up, and they show in our relationships. So I can only feel so much gratitude for being on a path that has given me so many tools, that has provided me of the atmosphere to really allow myself to see who am I, but also who do I want to be. And I don't need, and I can drop the expectations, of establishment, of teachers, of parents, or anyone, even the seniors. We can only be the best of who we are. And this is what allows us to feel so safe and not, and drop expectations, not only from what others have of me, but the expectations that I have of others as well. So I think that introspection has been a very wonderful way into myself, into my own transformation, and become very aware where it is that I create disruptive environments, or where I become disrespectful, or where I become bossy. So I think that so many aspects of self-change have contributed to relationships that today I enjoy. I really embrace. I love my spiritual life. I can't think of anything else that I would want to do it anywhere in the world. I can't think of, unless I have a high purpose to serve, what would I be doing? So for me, that has been aligning me with who I am, my higher purpose, and this game of change that I have embarked, and that I think most of us have embarked with. So maybe, Anjani, you want to take us into a little reflection on this aspect of harmonizing with the self.
Yes, and so let's spend 2 minutes in a very safe and beautiful space where this wonderful quality, a quality that brings peace, this quality that gives me the experience that life is just beautiful. It is like being by the lake, and the wind is very gentle. The water is very calm. The other passes by. The birds chirping very beautifully. There is the experience of everything is in alignment. Everything moves. It moves at its own pace. And when you look at it, it speaks of its own beauty. And it's the same for the self. I look at my mind, and when my mind creates the thoughts of love and peace, or when the same mind creates a thought which gives the experience of waste, I do not fight with my mind, but I gently, lovingly, knowingly that my mind is beautiful and has the capacity to create that which is beautiful. So with a lot of love and a lot of care, moving to that sweet space within the self, I create those beautiful thoughts and my world changes. I'm the creator of this beautiful world inside. And I take pride to create that world because I live in that world. So let each one of us in this moment create the best of the best within the self. Om Shanti.
Thanks, Anjani. Maybe I thought we could start this other aspect of harmonizing with others. Maybe, do you have any story you can share with us about how you overcame, how you managed to harmonize in a situation that was troubling you or stopping you in any way?
Well, if you live with many who you really don't know, these qualities are very core to us. But yet we all have our own ideas. We have our own way of seeing things, doing things, and no one's way is wrong. But when I can't see from that place, then there is disagreements. And sometimes those disagreements doesn't feel like healthy disagreements because we are so attached to those thoughts. We are so attached to our own ideas. We are so attached to the things we do without realizing that this is what's happening. Until one day, whether you hear it from Baba, whether you hear it from someone else, whether it's from the seniors, wherever, in whatever direction that the mirror turns and faces you and you're forced to look at it, you say, but wait a minute, these things externally, which is creating unrest, what do I need to do? And so I would see that the trend and the thread of this whole conversation, it's going to always bring me back to myself. And this is where I specifically picked up certain aspects to make my own personal effort, realizing the feelings that one goes through when there is disagreements, it doesn't sit right. It doesn't make you feel good. And more so, with Baba, whom do I belong to at this time? It was okay when we were children and, you know, a little bit disagreements happened there and we stayed close. But it's not okay when knowing the one who is supporting me, sustaining me, holding me, taking me on this journey is God. And so it's like deeply the realizations that I have got to do the things I need to do with myself, even if I have to withdraw my mind from everything and everyone around me and put myself in this sacred space of a cocoon and allow the growth to emerge from there, the strength to emerge from there. With Baba, I have seen the wonders that has happened for myself and in my surroundings. Up till today, am I going to say to myself, the place reminds me of harmony, and that's what's so beautiful. It's Global Harmony House. So when you have a space that reminds you every day where you're at, you've got to live up to it. You've got to step in again and again the moment one steps out. And I also look and see deeply what are some of the reasons that could create these feelings that doesn't hold the petals together, because each one of us living together is like petals on this flower holding this receptacle that's holding all the petals together. Each one of us. Each one is so beautiful in their own way. And so what is it that's coming in my vision that I can see the beauty at that moment in another person? What is it that is coming in front of me that I get caught in anything? And I realize that sometimes our own values could become our own obstacles. You know, like one of the things for me is I don't like to gossip. I don't like to speak ill about anyone. Anyone comes to me with a story about someone, it's like, it's okay, you can tell me once or you tell me twice, because you're looking for support, you're looking for strength to come out of that. But if it comes again and again, then like Sister Mohini would always say, it's sanskars. And so it's like discerning the sanskars of that, and when someone genuinely is reaching out for help. And so sometimes being very open, being very clear about this could also come back to become, you know, your strength becomes your weakness at that moment. So you've got to learn how to share that strength without it coming back to give you or create sorrow or pain for anyone. So it's life is a learning, and I've got to learn from every scene that comes my way, because everyone, each and every soul, whether the soul recognizes Baba or the soul doesn't recognize, we might probably have new brothers and sisters in this meeting, but everyone is loved by God. So I always tell myself, what right do I have to look at anyone in any other way besides through the eyes of God? So I've seen that the effort that I make on my own self, it gives me the biggest reward of moving to the, you know, those around me, and keep on growing at every step.
Anjani, I like what you said about not liking to gossip. It's such a gift, because gossip is like cancer for the soul, and it's so important, like, because really what we see in others is what emerges in others, and it doesn't stop there. Whatever we see in others also emerges in me. So it's a real gift to have that nature of not passing judgment or criticizing others, which is such an important component for harmony in a family, in a team, at work, wherever we are. And I also like this aspect of, you know, the taking refuge in this cocoon, coming back to the self. It reminds me of a time when many years ago, I had to go through a lot of opposition from my peers in Brahma Kumaris in Argentina. And I must admit, it was a time in which I was very bossy, very controlling. And we know now that controlling others is about self-insecurity. And so, but it hurts others. It breaks the atmosphere. And although when you are in a position that you have to lead some process, a lot is projected on you anyway. So there's a price to pay, which is, you may be responsible or not, but it's, so each one can do their own discount. You know, what am I responsible for, and what is really about people projecting on any figure of authority. And for me, it was very beautiful to see how, at a time in which I was being challenged very, very strongly, it was a very powerful lesson that I would learn. But I took the help at that time of the seniors, because when we go into chaos in relationships, and we may not be so clear how to handle the whole situation, how to protect myself, at that time, the daddies were around. So it was very important for me to know that Daddy Janki trusted me. And it was also very important for me to have the support of Mohini Didi, whom most of you know. And for those of you who are joining us in this values session, she's our regional coordinator for Brahma Kumaris in the US and the Americas, and our head of the organization right now, one of the administrative heads. But she always said these words to me: everything will be all right. And you could hear that from anyone, but when she says it, it has a load. It has it is words that are charged with blessings, with good wishes, with a power that I heard her many times in different occasions saying everything will be all right. And you just wonder, how does she know? What? How is it going to happen? But it does turn out to be okay. And somehow it assured me in my self-respect. It helped me to think that, just sail through it. It will turn out okay. And then it was also like looking at what is my responsibility in a conflict, in a situation. I remember one of our seniors, Ken, actually, who was with you last week. He came to help me, and I remember telling him, please don't represent me. I have paved my life with my actions. So whatever I'm responsible for, I'll take responsibility, but there are also things that I'm, that are, my own goodness is there that I should see and I should value for myself. So in this sense, like standing up for who we are and appreciating who we are and what we mean, not only to myself, but also to others and to God. And I remember at that time, because I was quite low in my self-respect those days, I sat in meditation and I took refuge in God's drishti, in God's vision. And I asked him to show me what was my worth. And because, when there's a big storm, everybody is very critical. And so I had such a beautiful experience of who I am in his eyes and what he sees, the eternal me, the powerful me, the real me, the pure me. And it's as if I was recreated in that vision. And this is the safe place to come whenever we are in a little discomfort or in a difficult situation. Come back into silence, come back into the cocoon of who I am and who I belong to. And it just brings me back into that warm experience of love, of total unconditional acceptance, where I don't need to pretend anything. I don't need to prove anything to him. I just need to be. But most of all, what I need to be is honest with myself, because the moment we recognize what needs to be transformed, this is half of the healing. And we know we can take help. We can also repair in relationships where we have hurt others. Taking responsibility is also asking for forgiveness, or even renewing, resetting my own vision of others. And it's so interesting, the power of drishti, the power of our vision, how others are, what the mirror of my vision means to souls that in a way depend on me in any way, whether it's as a team leader or whatever, even as parents. The vision that we hold for the children is so important in affirming them of who we are and who they are and what are their possibilities. The power of vision really creates reality, and it can transform even such a dark side of someone who's made a big mistake. And we can see, I had this experience, and I always like to talk about the daddies because they're not with us anymore. And so I think it's just the legacy and the gift that we've had. Whenever we made a mistake and we went to the daddies, Daddy Janki, I remember telling me bolo, and I had to speak my own little story, whatever I came for. And it's as if I hadn't said anything. At moments, I thought she didn't understand what I meant because, she just take it for granted. Like, okay, it's over. It's finished. But that vision, that pure vision that allows someone to recreate themselves, to start again. It's like a blank page that allows you to be who you really are. And so I think this is something that we can do every day because we're challenged every day, living with people, trying to do things together. You live in Harmony House, and I live in a place called Paradise. It's Baba's gift to us in Argentina. It's our retreat place. It really is like a little paradise. But, when we don't get on with each other, it's like a little hell. So we have to come into terms with each other. And sometimes we laugh and we say, we're 5 people living together, sometimes 6. If we hadn't come together on a spiritual path, we wouldn't have crossed each other anywhere ever in the world. We are so different, so different. And yet we are so important to each other. We mean so much to each other. And being together has, for me, we are a spiritual family. I really appreciate some souls are so simple. The lives they live are so simple, but yet they're real diamonds. They're real precious people, such nobility, such purity. The honesty and the loyalty to God that they have is just a gift every day in my life. So I really, I feel like deep gratitude for the opportunity of being with others and learning in the mirror of our relationship. I mean, our spiritual stature is measured in how much harmony there is in our relationships. That is the thermometer. So we know when we're doing well, and we know when we are derailing, and we need to come back to our, whether it's, not enough attention to myself, because when we mistreat each other, is because we're not doing anything deep for myself. So it's just an indicator. But I do feel overall that our relationships have transformed so much. I feel that this is a time of much more subtle and deeper change at this point, but also a time of enjoyment, because we are, after a long journey, there's also that maturity and that acceptance that brings us together in a beautiful way. And I think that when there is harmony, it invites so much creativity. So our life becomes so interesting because we allow people to be who they are. And I mean, in God's eyes, each one is so unique and precious. So we have, it is the game of harmonizing, discovering each other's uniqueness and where we all fit in. I just want to leave you with a little, once someone told Daddy Yankee that New York was like a melting pot. And Daddy didn't understand what melting pot was. So Gayatri explained, it's a kind of, if there's many colors, it becomes a sort of gray where everything blends. And Daddy said, no, the BKs are not a melting pot. We are an amazing mosaic, a piece of art where each piece of this mosaic shows the big picture of the amazing global family that we represent, not only the BKs, but the whole family. But if one piece is missing, the whole picture has less value. So where each one is so necessary, playing your part, being the best of you. So I think this is amazing time in which we are playing by specialities. Everything we do is now being revealed, I feel, in this way.
So maybe so beautiful, Sister Moira. It's such a
we do a little reflection. 2 minutes. We do.
Yes.
So if we think, let's take ourselves back into that silent, sacred space of the self. And let me see myself in the mirror of my relationships. Let me see the light that I'm shining through into every connection, into every interaction. Let me become aware of how I contribute to harmony, to allowing sometimes difficult conversations, just being peaceful, being present, respectful, in total acceptance, where all I need to do is just be naturally who I am. No need to compare, no need to compete. And let me become aware of any interaction where I need to shine the light of equality, any interaction that is challenging me these days, where I would like to harmonize. Let me become aware of the light I would like to offer. Let me trust in the power of my vision. And I visualize closeness, trust, cooperation. Let me emerge that. Let me radiate these qualities into that relationship that needs healing or forgiveness. And let me come back to the safe space of God's vision of me, how He sees me, how He allows me to blossom, to who I really am, totally accepting, caring, protecting. I create the world around me. My pure vision, my pure feelings. So let me breathe deeply. And keep that feeling of trust, of harmony, in the way I relate to everyone around me.
That's so beautiful, Moira. Interesting stories, interesting insights into the life of yogis, into the journey that one has to, or the path one has to walk, because we have come to Baba with many things. I always say Baba, and as he has said it all the time in the Murli, he picks up Shudras and to make them into Brahmins, and Brahmins have to become angels, and angels have to become deities. So we can't think that, I am this perfect being. Yes, we know originally there is that perfection in the soul. But when we when we look at ourselves with that honesty and with that love and with that recognition and more deeply realizing who we are and whom we belong to and our journey, all the baggages, they just dropped off. Like Moira was sharing about whether it's the sanskar of being bossy or being controlling or being all those kind of things. You look at them now and they've become insignificant. They don't mean anything anymore to us because you don't want those things. You don't want to use them. But we see that how those same qualities which seemed that they were negative, they actually gave me back my strength because they pushed me into becoming what I wanted to be. So if I had this quality of controlling and I was using it on others, what I turn it back to myself and say, okay, let me start being a very true guide with Baba's Shrimat to guide myself. So these weaknesses, we can turn them around and do magic with them, or we can take those same weaknesses and put ourselves in a box and think, I have no worth. But each one has such worth in the eyes of God that it's so powerful. Sometimes we look at our worth through the eyes of another person whom I might be around. And this is where, when it comes to the world in general. And what I would like to share on when it comes to the world, and I'll wrap up with both world and Mother Nature. I would see one of the things that I've done is creating the different experiences of relationships with Baba. Because I discovered that if all the relationships, we hear Baba saying it, but to move it from what he says into reality in my own life, I've got to do it. And so being here in Harmony House, of course, it's Baba's home, so you will see many Brahma Babas around, right? Bab Dada. So whether you go to Baba's room, and then during the COVID days, I set up something in the dining room, and we have Baba in the kitchen, and I have Baba in my bedroom, and I have Baba when I leave the house. So what I did was seeing that all these Babas, they are so personal and real to me in a relationship. So when I wake up in the morning, whom do I see? I see my beloved Bapdada. I leave the house, 4 a.m. I leave before 4 o'clock to come to Harmony House for my morning meditation. Again, who is coming with me? I enter the house, Harmony House, my Yagya Baba. So these relationships have helped me a lot when it comes to serving the world in general. One is those who come here, but then those who don't come here, when we have to go out on service, there's so much that happens. You know, this year, a lot of outreach programs and all of that is happening. But the experience of receiving from all these relationships, it gives a strength inside of the soul that you're not alone in what is happening, but the responsibility of the one who's really taking his responsibility, you just stay in partnership with me. And so it's a very beautiful feeling. And then when I think of Mother Nature is amazing. I could be complaining, oh, I need to go to the beach and the rain is falling. No, but enjoy her. The beauty of the rain, enjoy. Okay, it might be too hot and I may not like the heat, but again, how do I work with the body? When sometimes some souls will come and say, oh, it's too hot. I would say, let's think from a very, very peaceful place, very detached from the body. And what you will experience, it's as though maybe not coolness as coolness, but the heat does not affect you the way it would when I come into more the physical consciousness of it's hot or it's cold or all these kind of things I think of the world, think of Mother Nature, or even the situations that's happening in today's world. Instead of me getting my thoughts into all the things that's happening, it blows your mind to think about it. So what do I need to do? Stay in my relationship with the One. And Sister Mohini shares so many beautiful insights in the Avyakti Parivar every evening, which I make sure I listen to so that I can receive some strength from that to guide my mind, to hold the intellect, and to see how that becomes applicable for my next day. But it's the strength of all relationships with God at this time that for me, it is so important, because all these external things are going to challenge us. One is where we work with ourselves to transform these sanskars and feel the beauty within the soul and to experience what we want. But the challenges that will happen now would be of a different level. And I have to ask myself, how much am I prepared for all these different challenges? Because it might be challenges that I haven't experienced through my journey that will show up. So I show up with my relationships with Baba. I show up with my attainments from Baba. I show up with everything where I feel that I can stand strong and give love and power to all souls of the world, including Mother Nature. Moira Ben, I'll hand it over to you so you can share and close with a meditation.
This aspect of the relationship with nature is something that is so, so dear to me. I always thought of myself as a wild kid, and now Baba has me again living in a beautiful place. And what I appreciate so much from a spiritual perspective is this very respectful relationship with matter, which brings us into, it's like a friendship and harmonizing with nature. Nature always ever providing in such an abundant way. Everything we have, every space that we occupy is her gift to us, starting from our very body. And the way we treat our body is our first relationship with nature. How much are we caring and nurturing, exercising, resting, everything that is required to make the best worthy use of our bodies, and everything else that is that we have, that we care for. And I like this aspect of using everything from a need rather than greed. And on one hand, there is a great abundance. Let me tell you, in Argentina, we have reached 126% inflation a year. I think every time I come to values, I tell you about another 40% more or less. But we're about to go, we're in hyperinflation. It's going to go maybe into 200 by the end of the year, which is crazy, right? It's crazy. So people are hardly surviving. But on the other hand, I see how this harmony and love for nature and respect for matter brings an abundance in itself. And when we interact with nature with the highest intention of giving, of offering, of service, all it can do is bow at us and serve us. So anything that we might need for whatever we need to get done will come to us naturally. It will come to us, but we cannot possess it. We cannot accumulate it. We have to reuse. We have to recycle. And now that we are living in this place, I'm starting to do an orchard. So I have such fun, we are doing the compost and all this. And it's just a wonder to see the laws of nature, how they operate, how they provide, how everything interacts, how everything silently makes itself available to us. And I think we have Well, I love to think that what we do with nature today is going to materialize a real paradise in the future. But it comes from our thoughts, it comes from our feelings, the way we connect with things and how we share things. It's just a wonder. I really feel a lot of gratitude every day. And I'll tell you a little secret. I love roses. And we have a beautiful rose garden. We have a type of roses called Charles Aznavour. These are roses that blossom from October to July, non-stop. It's like a splash of flowers. And every single day when I get up, I go and talk to them. And I like to, we create such a lovely relationship. And it just seems how nature responds to our vibration. So I can imagine a time when we have all become complete, how matter will respond to that power, that purity, original purity of the souls, and the world we will emerge in our minds, in our hearts, will then take shape in nature as well. So I think this is the time of the beautiful game that we need to become aware of, how responsible we are to only use what we need and overcome the greed that creates such disharmony with nature itself. So, Manoj, I don't
Moira,
know if
I can share one thing on that point is one of the things that has helped me a lot to learn to respect nature is every morning when I step out of the house. One is when I wake up, I say good morning to God. But to step out and look at the world, I say to Mother Nature, good morning. It's as though I'm greeting another mother. And then good morning to all souls of the world. Because what that does to me, it gives me the experience of bringing all of us together. Myself with Baba, with Mother Nature, and all the souls of the world. And it really, really gives a very beautiful feeling. It brings a comforting feeling that it's actually a feeling of more safety that it brings when everyone comes together, because we all hold each other together. So I know our time is getting up, and Sister Moira is going to also lead us.
Anjani, when I think of how beautiful the creation is, how beautiful the creator is, really.
There's a song on that.
Yes, so beautiful. So Manoj, over to you.
So thank you so much. There's one burning question coming in the chat box, and we had it in the last Values for a Life series episode as well, about the golden age. You spoke about paradise and you are in the harmony. Now we're speaking about harmony. So when we perform this divine dance of harmonizing the sanskars with each other, the golden age is, so the question is the golden age there already?
Well, I think it exists within us. It's just that we now need to express it. Because if we think of ourselves as eternal beings, those pure sanskars are already lying within. But the more we emerge our own future form, deity form, or even now angelic form, the more that would take expression. Because the golden age is equally eternal to the confluence age or even the iron age. It's just that what we choose to express. Anjani, I don't know if you want to say anything.
Yeah, I always say golden age begins with our inner world. When my inner world moves to that state of all the qualities of completion, as Baba talks about, it's my golden world. And then that world would be very easily accessible, easily in my vision, knowing that, yes, that's where I'm going. Because we're not creating anything externally. The whole of creation of Golden Age is happening within each one of us. And Baba takes these beautiful souls and put them into that beautiful world. And what happens? We all live in a world that we have created for ourselves, and that's our own world. And so, yes, keep creating, experiencing the beauty of what is that completion, and the world is ours. So it's already waiting for us. Baba always say, can you see the trees of the new world? It's just in front of you. You just have to see it, which means I'm seeing my own stage of perfection, my own golden aged world. So let's live in these beautiful experiences that we have the capacity to create and to live in.
Thank you. Speaking of the golden age, it reminds me, I wish we had had the golden episode, the 50th episode, as harmony. And I remember we had it on Surrender. It was Mohini Didi. Both of you mentioned so much about her, and we fondly love her, the Avyakti Parivar, and so many things which she's been doing. That was the golden episode on Surrender. Well, we are today at the 75th episode, and I must say this is a first of the workshop we had where it was an interaction, and the entire credit goes to Sister Anjani, I must say, because she was the one who said, no, let's do it as a in conversation. And thank you, Sister Moira, for accepting that when I approached you. Thanks a lot. Thank you to both of you. And with this, I will just request our seniors to propose the vote of thanks. So we have Dr. Mehta and Sister Claudia. Over to both of you.
I think it's a very enjoyable dialogue between Sister Anjani Ben and Sister Moira. I think both of them have brought into their personal experience from childhood to the time working with Baba, bring harmony. What was interesting was that both of them lived in big families. Now, what we are saying is we are living in the nuclear families, which is really causing more problems in terms of harmony. Sister Moira said beautiful things about her family and how they should come together. I think that brings a very important focus on changing our lifestyle in terms of family life, those of us who live in the families. In India, most of us, we have lived, though I lived alone because I was the only child of my parents, so I didn't have the experience of a larger family. But we had, we had living together of a number of families in our buildings where we all played and, grew together, traveled together, and understood each other very well, though from a different, different status of strata of the society. I think the harmony should start in a childhood. It's a formation of sanskars, basically. When you are young, that you really get the first feel of being in harmony with the surroundings. Then when you go to school again, that harmony comes together. If you go to elite school, probably that harmony may not come. I still recollect that I had a school in which, there's the only school in the town, and whether you're a billionaire son or you're an average man's son or you're, coming from a very low status in the society, we all live together. That was very interesting to me. I have seen Moira Bennett work in Buenos Aires, spent some time with her in giving service. And I could see how harmoniously they live together in the center and how she works in the society at every level, from the members of parliament to the ministers to the lowest. I think Moira Bennett has been able to bring in a tremendous change in attitude, and I could see the harmony practiced every minute in her life. I have not had an opportunity of working with Anjani men, but the Harmony House in New York is a symbol of really harmony. I've had a number of times I've lived there, and it was very enjoyable. I think it's one of the points which I think brought out very well was about the creation within. We have to create harmony within ourselves, create a golden age. I always feel that I am living in a golden age. Whatever happens outside doesn't affect the totally my way of thinking and living. And the roses today, I'm in Mount Abu. We went to a garden. It's full of roses. My better half, Syrian men said, they have never seen such a beautiful rose garden in Mount Abu, and it in full bloom. So I think season of October to July, what mentioned by Moira Ben, and what's happening here in Mount Abu, we are in harmony with the nature. The beautiful Naki Lake was so beautiful. It was this time after the monsoon, it was all completely filled up. The lights around and the gardens that has been created by the Baba's children in Mount Abu has given us a real feeling of harmony with the surrounding and harmony with the nature. I think we enjoyed the dialogue. It was a very harmonious dialogue. It brought out the most beautiful points in the personal life, in the professional work, and in Baba's work. So thank you very much for bringing sharp focus about harmony in living. Thank you. Om Shanti.
Om Shanti. So we are all in different time zones, but it was very enjoyable to hear both of you. It was a kind of a harmony between one another one, and then brought us so many different aspects of harmony. And I quite like when Anjani talk about the petals, that the rose are made of the petals and the 5 fingers. I liked like that. So then in reality, it is like this. And we don't have the harmony. If one finger is missing or is cut or something, things cannot be done to get the same way. And this also when Moira said about the mosaic, if it was one little piece of the mosaic when Daddy said it's missing, the picture is not the same. So nobody enjoy the same way. So I think this too is going to be in our mind for this today's talk. And we are going to remember that petal, the rose petals and also the mosaic, and make sure that we are that petal that's making all together. And also the mosaic of our family is always in harmony. So thank you very much. I really appreciate both of you. And it's nice to have different ways of living, but in harmony with it and sharing with this program. Thank you very much. Om Shanti.
Thank you so much. And today we take the liberty. It's a special workshop episode, right? All of you agreed, 75th. So let's have a blast together. So I take the liberty to, it's already, 10 minutes past, but we'll just take 5 more minutes. So hope that's okay for both of you as well. I'll just quickly share the screen and do the announcements. So we finish our 3rd year of Values for Life series and episodes. And this is our elegant calendar, as you can see. So let me just tell you a few things. We have something called World Values Day in October. Usually it's celebrated on the 3rd Thursday, so which is on 19th, 20th, that period. So we'll be celebrating that on 21st, which will be the birthday celebrations for the series, and on 28th, the workshop series. And you can see we have all our seniors with us. Sudesh Didi will be there along with Sister Santosh from Russia. And for the workshops, it will be Sister Judy Johnson from Halifax and Sister Luciana from Brazil. And as always, we'll have Brother Eric in conversation with them. And we also step into our 76th episode. We have, as you can see, Sister Gayatri and Sister Gopi. Let me just go further. Yeah. So as all of us know that where there is harmony, victory is already there. So let's listen to what they have to say about victory. And also for the Brahma Kumari students who are here, we'll be having next 3-4 weeks full crash course, because we have a lot of teachings, what we call in Murali's spiritual teachings on victory. So I think it will be almost 3.5 to 4 weeks. We'll be revising them as we do every morning for next 4 weeks. And these are our invitations. We'll be circulating them soon with Sudesh Didi and Santosh Didi and Judy Johnson and Sister Luciana. And yes, as always, we end with the silence retreat, the month end usually. So it's October Sunday 29th. So we'll be having a silence retreat on victory called Vijay in Hindi. These are our email addresses and the websites. You can feel free to visit them. And we'll be sending the materials, and these are the workshops and the Values for Life episodes playlists. If you can click on them and find out, we'll be sending you these links as well in the emails. So just stop sharing the screen. And yeah, I would request all of you all, there are less people if you have gone. So if you can please open your cameras, because that's a special episode with all our seniors. And if you all want to have a photograph, so it's Sister.
Yeah, I'm taking the photograph. So Sister Moira, Sister Anjani, beautiful moment. Everyone, please open your video if you want to be in the photo. Okay. Yeah, got it. Thank you.
So should we just end with a closing meditation, Drishti, from you all? Some commentary or Drishti, whatever you all suggest.
Maybe commentary, 5 minutes.
Hear me? Okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Something happened in my. Okay. Maybe we can take a deep breath. And let us go into that safe space of our highest awareness of who we really are as a divine being, as a being of light. Someone who is unique, whose being as we are, who we are, is of the highest value. And let me visualize myself in harmony within, appreciating who I am. The one Baba sees as I am, the true diamond, so dear to him and to the world. Let me visualize myself in harmony with everyone around me. Let me reach out with beautiful thoughts, very pure, generous feelings that touch the life of others, that bring meaning to every interaction. Let me become aware of the radiance of my presence for the world. Being like a lighthouse, offering comfort, love to everyone, no matter what the conditions are. I remain stable. I'm able to help. In whatever way is expected of me. Let me become aware of this eternal relationship with nature and how we are co-creating with Baba a real paradise, a world of beauty. I become aware of purity, my real strength, my power. That which keeps me in harmony with everyone and everything. I keep this feeling of being a very pure soul, loved by all, loved by God. Om Shanti.
Thank you so much of you for your time.
Thank you everyone. Bye.
Thank you, Manoj.
And thank you for having
everyone.
us.
Om Shanti. Thanks for having us.